Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring Yamato. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile featuring OP09 hero on this channel, let alone a leader in which a lot of people enjoy. I feel like every time I'm recording, my phone decides to go off. That was me, not you. In any case, a lot of people seem to enjoy this leader. Although Yamato is not doing the best in the current metagame, no matter how much you want to believe she is, there are some problems when it comes to some of the matchups here in today's format. And that would be Doflamingo, Jewelry Bonnie. Some of these decks are very difficult for Yamato to get over. Now that we go into OP09, there are some other decks that can raise a problem, and that being Shanks, Blackbeard, but we'll get into it. Now, with that being said, Yamato is still very, very fun to play, and don't get me wrong, we did gain a bunch of new cards in OP09, being NICO Robin, and the, whatever this card is called. We're not going to try to butcher it. Both of these are very, very good for the current format when it comes to yellow. But with Blackbeard being around, sometimes it's a little bit hard to chain your on-play cards. Because if you are going first with Yamato, you swing for 8, right? Realistically. Most Blackbeard players will take that hit because it gives them 2 extra cards that they can pitch out for leader ability each turn, which is great, right? You're giving them more stuff. If they're smart, typically they will just start blocking your own play ability. So the following turn, you cannot drop Onami to do the banish, and then into the next turn, where you would want to play down your NICO Robin here, you can't do that either because it's on play, so you have to play around certain leaders. And in this format, with Doflamingo being quite prevalent, Blackbeard, Shanks, they're both going to be running around. I would say that you have an easier time dealing with Blackbeard than you would Doflamingo. But for Dofi, I've started teching in Electrical Lunas. I don't know if we are going to run into any Dofi players today because a lot of people are still playing around with OP09 stuff, and Dofi is kind of just a one-trick pony when it comes to cards they utilize. So this will be included in all of my lists going forward when it comes to Yamato, I think. At least right now for the current metagame. Perhaps. And this is just because you can lock down a whole board, which Doflamingo, all the characters they play are under 7 cost, typically, unless you're going into the late game with like Kaido. But other than that, this should be pretty solid in that matchup. This also helps you out in Jewelry Bonnie as well. Resting, or keeping the Basil Hawkins and stuff rested. It's pretty good. Now, I've started playing around with Tropical Torment. Because we've gained access to NICO Robin and OP09, I think this, going first with Yamato, is pretty spooky. Because typically we go 8k, which is fine, you can still swing 8, get the double attack off if you want to. But again, against Blackbeard players, they'll typically will take the hit. Shanks, I'll minus you by 1,000, and now you're 7k, which it's easier to guard. Tropical Torment just rips the life. You swing for 5, if they want to take it, they take it. If they don't, they don't. They give you counter in the early for the 5. That's awesome, because the following turn you can drop the Onami down, do the banish swing. And then after that, you can play NICO Robin. That's your curve. But overall, I've been having a very, very fun time with this list here. Ignore Amazon. This is something I've been playtesting. Of course, just pretend she's not here. Sometimes she does get value for me for what I'm looking for. And that would be inside like the Teach matchup. I like to drop this when I'm ending my turn, when your opponent goes into the 10 Dawn. They have a choice there of playing, the 10 cost Blackbeard. That's great. Once they play 10 cost Blackbeard on the board, they can attack with their leader. If they do, they have to trash a character. Sorry, they have to trash a life. If they don't, they lose 2,000 power. So Blackbeard, the leader, isn't hitting me, which is great. So it saves me a life that turn. This is the only use I've come across that this card makes sense. This also helps me out in Doflamingo by making Dofi a 3k power. So when he swings attaching 2 Dawn, he's a 5k. It's a little bit easier for us to guard. Knowing that Yamato doesn't have a lot of counter, it's just something else I've been trying to utilize. That's it. Just pretend it's not here for the time being. The Enel, this is for black matchups. Going in OP09, there are going to be a lot of black leaders out there with Blackbeard, Rob Lucci, and Purple Black Luffy, which is a very hard matchup for Yamato to beat, let alone he does utilize Top Knot. So, Ice Age, then hitting this with Top Knot, Enel has a way of staying on board. So, Enel, Kikinojo, black matchups, that's why they're here. We are running S-Shark. And considering we don't run with a lot of 2k counters, you typically will be at 2 life very, very early. This allows you to get around the 10 cost Blackbeards and some of the blockers in which Shanks utilizes. I think his name is Rux. So that card is very, very, very good. And I know it does have a very, very good matchup with Yamato, because on curve, Shanks plays this, right? Let's say he goes second, he plays this. Going into the following turn, when you want to play this down on curve, you can't, because if you do, and you attack into Shanks, they decide to block, they just pop this. But at the end of the day, this is another character that you guys have to try to work around, and that's the reason why Ezos are still here, and the 9 flash, because they do have some very, very powerful 4-cost blockers that we've gotten in OP09. So be mindful of that one as well. But overall, we are going to dive into a bunch of games today, as we typically do here. I don't know how many, because Yamato's games kind of go very, very fast, but we'll have a good time. Let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with Yamato playing into NICO Robin. I'm not sure how many games we are going to do today, considering the matchups kind of go by very, very quickly. This might be like a 6 or 7 minute or 7 game video. I'm not sure just yet. I'm going to try my best. In any case, our hand's looking pretty good. We got the Banish, we got the Torment, and Nell's kind of irrelevant here, because, you know, purple. And she doesn't really utilize a whole lot of removal, so I don't have to worry about like Ice Ages, then Top Knot, or something like that. So I don't think a Nell's going to get a lot of value, but he is going to be a sticky body on board that she has to attack into. And she doesn't want to do that due to her leader ability having Banish, so he might actually serve a purpose here. We'll see. The 9 flashes and the Ezos are going to be something I'm definitely going to need to see, because she does utilize triggers like such as Sanji, the Soul. They both have decent blockers here, so we'll see. I do definitely want to get off Torment as quickly as possible. I know we could have went 8k and then potentially got 2 cards off life. This way we burn one for free, and then we get a card out of hand. And then next turn we can actually go 8k with the Banish and Onami swing. At least that's going to be the game plan. So I think she has to put a blocker down. Cool. And she'll pitch a card for leader ability in the early game. Right? Come on. Well, speaking of which, her ability is really, really good. But for some reason, I've noticed a lot of NICO Robins like to throw away triggers. So like the Satoris, the Capones, anything. Speaking of which, and as Yamato, as soon as they throw away a 2k counter, that gives you enough information to know, depending on how many cards they have left in hand, whether or not you can go for a big swing. And I think in this situation, I just want to go 6, because they already have the blocker on board. And if they're willing to give me the 2k, which they should, instead of going down to 1 here, we can just play Kikanojo instead. And then next turn, we can go huge. There's another Capone. So that's 4k counter. They are at, okay, 7 Dawn here. Which is crazy how fast this deck can ramp. And part of me thinks, when you guys see my deck list, I feel like you want to ramp up, then play good stuff, instead of just throwing away 2k counters in the early game. I think the Yamato, like things like the Big Mom, the 7 drops, maybe can be utilized here, but I'll have to play around with it quite a bit. And you know I'm going to cook up something spicy, so we'll see what we do. I think she wants to get down some blockers here, though, because we are getting very, very close to the Hody territory. Okay, I'll take the heal, that's fine. Well, she puts a body on board, she gets to draw 1 off the Nami effect. I don't see her using leader ability here. I mean, I guess she still could. Alright. So we're at 7. 3 in hand. We can rest this. We can play Nami down, give us the Banish. Now we're 7k. We play down 9 flash, makes us an 8. And hopefully, this will just burn some cards in hand. If it goes through, we win the game. Alright, that's it. Well, she is at 9 Dawn, so it is a potential to drop Yamato and kill something on board here to heal a life. But we still have enough to go for game in the following turn, unless it's a 0-cost event. or Beji, right? Because you could just Beji the Izo or the Nami. Okay, Big Mom. Not sure how I feel about this play. Because I think you still lose here. Depending on what your life is here. You either give me a trigger, or you give me the 2k back with Big Mom effect. Or you choose not to heal me. Okay. I really don't think it matters. I think we just win, regardless, next turn. We get the Izo, so we can rest Soul again. And this should be a wrap. So we can just go 9 here, swing in for 9k, which should be guaranteed. And then give 9 flash to Nami. Nice. 6. And we'll go 8k again. What you got? Well played. Well, it definitely is bound to happen for us to run into a bunch of Blackbeards, but this should be a tough game. I do hate playing against this leader as Yamato, just for the fact that I think most Blackbeard players, they're going to anticipate the Nami, you know? And in the early game, once we get off that first swing, that initial attack, I, as a Blackbeard player, would take the hit, because that gives me extra cards for my leader ability and going forward. After that, all I have to do is just slap down my leader ability each and every turn. Therefore, Yamato cannot get off the Onami banish. They cannot get off the NICO Robin. It's pretty crazy. And speaking of which, he does have a blocker here. There's no reason to counter from hand. You either just take this hit, or you block out with Vasco Shot. Which I don't see why he wouldn't block here with this, but okay, that's fair. There's a search. Alright, so we got Burgess, and I'm not sure what the other card was. What do we do? 4 Dawns up. Discards a card, yep. So I can't activate Nami for the following turn. Burgess is already going to be swinging at me at 6k, which does suck. I guess we give him Sanji here. No Kikinojo. That does suck. Oh. He has a blocker here. So if we go 7, we can play down Izo. No, we can't play Izo here. We don't have any on-play abilities. So that's awkward. Let's just go 10k. Almost made the mistake. So I guess we get rid of that. Okay, he's got another blocker. Not looking good for us so far. I mean, we are still at 4 life, but still. Burgess is just going to continue to get stronger here. Laboon. Not sure why you played Laboon down. I think it might have just been better there just to attack with Leader and Burgess and call it a day. But perhaps you can just use Laboon as another body to swing at me. Let's rest the blocker here. And then we can maybe get down NICO Robin. He's got 5 in hand. It all depends if he does his leader skill or not. Hopefully he doesn't. Maybe he's thinking about doing it. Because he hasn't seen the stage here, so that's like a little less consistency. And maybe some of the cards in the hand he actually really needs. So maybe he's got a couple 10 cost Blackbeards already. Alright. Okay, so we get a Kikinojo. I think we had to play Robin here first. Burn the life. Then we just go 6. Actually, let's go 6 into the blocker. Just to get it out of the way. Because going forward, if he decides to activate leader ability again, I can't really rest it or deal with it with Izo. So, we already used our event from trigger there. Because we're at, yeah, so if I had known that he wasn't going to do the ability, it would probably been better for me to do just Kikinojo to play on board, play Izo down to rest the blocker, and then go 5 into it. That way we got 2 bodies on board. Of course, we wouldn't have done any damage, but we would have had Kikinojo for the following turn. Alright, so he's going in. So it's quite a bit. It's 8k there. He's got 2 8k swings. Okay, that's a big boy. You got it. Cool, we get a Satori. We can get rid of the Kikinojo or the other Satori. Let's go 8. We'll take that. This is fine. I think we can kill him next turn. And we get another trigger. So NICO Robin can play down the Amazon here. Oh, that's game. Well played. That was crazy. That was a crazy lineup right there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play another one. Coming at you guys again with Yamato, playing into Marshall D. Teach. We played another Blackbeard as well after our previous one, but they decided just to disconnect. So, it'd be what it'd be. I don't know if they made a mistake or what have you, but the game was like 2 minutes-ish, maybe? I think we stopped on turn 3, so. But this one might be different. He did start off with stage. It's a little bit more consistent. Our hand is pretty bad, I want to say. I mean, we got the Kikinojos to be able to stack them back-to-back on board, possibly. We could play Nami down and just get the banish off and hopes that he gives me a 2k counter. We know he has an auger in hand. We can drop this and look for the events. Nice. Cool. This works out. Let's take this one as well. We can't really get anything else here. And then we'll go 5. This will give us the auger that he drew from the island, I imagine. I don't see why it wouldn't. Oh. Alright. Well, Torment's useless now. That was a weird play, man. I don't know. I think I would have at least given the 1k to counter that. I don't know why he decided to take it. Goes 7. Leaves 2 up for maybe a blocker. Sure. Draw a card. Now the Torment. Alright, so there's the blocker. Did not activate leader ability, which is wild. What should we do? Maybe we just go 6, play Kikinojo down instead. And just slowly get cards out of hand. I think we're safe until he gets up into the point where he has to play 10 cost each, right? Because only blocker, I guess the only blocker that Blackbeard plays would be Vasco Shot and potentially Borsalino. Perhaps. I've seen a couple lists run Borsalino, so I mean that's something else I could pay attention to, but I think we're okay. Our Sanji's irrelevant here. He's at 6. Okay, so there's a search. What are you looking for? Another blocker. Wow. So your boy's swinging in for 7. Ooh, this might be silly, but I have an idea. Let's pop this on Yamato. Go up to 8. Rest Kikinojo, rest Burgess. Actually, let's rest a blocker. Rest a blocker. Because we need to be able to get over... Is it? No. Let's rest Burgess instead. Because I think he'll guard his life here. And then we'll play Luna down to freeze both characters. So he can't swing with Burgess on the following turn, and he can't activate the search effect. There's no point in playing Nami down, because he's just going to guard, so we just go 10k. We force the block. And again, our hand right now is terrible. We end up drawing into Tropical Torment. We got one off the trigger, I believe. And then we had all these Kikinojos in hand already, so... He got nothing off the search. Which is nice for us, because he pitched a card for no reason then. And now he has to pitch another card if he wants to activate his leader ability. Go 6 lead. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, so we can't play any on-play effects. That is totally fine. So how do we get around here? So Nami Banish won't work here. He's got 3 in hand. I need to play something on board to give Kikinojo the extra Dawn, at the very least. So, this is how we're going to do it. I can swing 9 with myself, right? Yeah, we can go 9 here. And then go 9 with Kikinojo. Or we can go 10 and make this successful. Because he does have 3 cards in hand. Not bad. Let's go life instead. I think that's the better play. He definitely has counter for that. Cool. Okay, so he can still win game here, depending on what our 2 life cards are. Or he can play Teach, so never mind. Because I was thinking he would attach 1 Dawn to Burgess, swing at me for 9k. I'd probably take that hit. And then he has Jack, attach a Dawn, go 9. And then everything else on leader. I think that's probably what I would have done. Ooh. I'm sorry, but not sorry. We'll rest this. He gonna learn today. He definitely gonna learn today. Oh, you know he mad. Yeah, he might have won the game. Could we get another S-Shark off life? So I guess it really depends on what my zero cost, or sorry, what my last life is. Howdy Jones. Interesting. Close game. Definitely a close. I mean, I guess obviously Blackbeard didn't know we had duds in the hands. You know, we had the Tropical Torment, some Kikinojos. Of course, he didn't know that. But he had a potential of going 2 9k swings, 1 on Jack, and 1 on Burgess there. And then sacking the rest of the Dawn on leader and then going for game. Because I only had 2 life up. So unless one of those lives was either a Sanji blocker or a 0 cost event, which had to be the last life, I think he should have just went for game instead of playing down the 10 cost Teach. I think the Voskos, the 2 cost blocker, kind of really slowed me down. But we'll come back at you guys with another one. We're playing into Rob Lucci this time around, in which I'm sure you guys know how this matchup can go. This time around with Tropical Torment, NICO Robin, it's going to be a little bit different. I really don't want to take this hit. As much as I want the Ezo to rest the Rebecca, we can go another NICO Robin this turn and then force him to give me cards. So I think if we attack him, he's obviously going to counter out, right? So let's go for Brook. This at least gives me a 2k. Nice. We have 2 9 flashes, so we can rest Rebecca if need be. And then we can also get the banish off on Onami. Going 6. That's fine. I'll take that. That's actually really good here. Ooh. So we get... There's no way he can remove both of them unless he runs... Okay, that works. No, he needs more. I was thinking Ice Age. But I don't know if you'd want to Ice Age NICO Robin here or the S-Shark in this situation. He can pop at least one of them. Yep. I think for sure we have to rest Rebecca. There's no reason for me to play it safe here. We give myself this. We rest the S-Shark to rest the Rebecca. Get myself the banish so we can't get any counter off this. And then we go for game. That's 11. No, we can just give it 2. This way we can swing 10k and then I can swing for 9 and NICO Robin. Well played. Yeah, sure, why not? That was very, very quick. We'll try it again. And this is kind of how I feel like back in the old days with Yamato versus Sakazuki. The matchup can be over very, very fast, especially when Yamato does high roll or plays well. But, of course, there are those times where you're playing Yamato into Rob Lucci, and you don't see Hody Jones, you don't see any of your pieces you need until later, when you have to go fast in the early game. And I try to do this prior to Lucci getting to the 8 Dawn turn. Doesn't always happen, but a lot of the times it does. And speaking of which, I'm always looking for Tropical Torment in my opener versus like a lot of these black decks, because this helps me get to Kikinojo a lot faster sometimes, especially when she comes off life, or if I want to play her down from hand. We'll give you the 2K. Okay. Rob Lucci Hardcast. That's something to see. We'll burn another one. We'll go 5. This will get a 1K counter out of hands. Or a 2K. We'll take those. Hey, yo, there's the Ice Age that you needed to see last game. Okay. Sure. I mean, we could toss Hody here. We actually might be in trouble. Yeah, we might be in trouble. We might have to do this. But if it's another trigger, we can potentially win game. Let's take it. Let's take the hit. I won't use it. In hindsight, we probably should have used it to pop the Who's Who. We're at 8. I don't think we can kill him with Hody as Shark and just going with Leader Swing. I don't think that's possible this turn. I think if we had 9 Dawn, yeah, sure. So, what I can do is use 9 Flash to rest our S-Shark to rest a Who's Who, right? No, I can't rest a Who's Who. Never mind. He's a 5 cost, I forgot. So this might be our best way of doing it. We just go 8. He didn't have the counter, which is nice. And then we clear the Rob Lucci or we play Luna on board and then go put him on the 0. Let's go 7 lead. Super risky. But we have the Luna to freeze Lucci. We have a decent amount of counter. Oh, we said 9 Dawn. Never mind. Never mind, we just lose. We definitely just lose. Unless this is a 0 cost event or a 2K. Or I can't math. Yeah, or I can't math. Because this swings 9 and Rob Lucci swings for 10. Yeah, that's game. Oh well. It was fun though. It was pretty good overall. Where's that 0 cost when I need it? Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into another game coming at you guys with Yamato, playing into Bello Betty. I don't know how many games we're going to play after this one. Maybe 2, maybe 3, I'm not sure yet. I've been playing with Yamato all day today, having wins, losses, especially against Rob Lucci. I feel like that matchup is still kind of challenging if you guys don't see the right pieces. But with all the new decks that are out in today's metagame with OP09, there's so many other leaders I want to dive into. I think we're going to do Buggy next. Although I don't feel he is like a meta-defining deck by any means, he definitely is fun to play. And I know I did say I probably wasn't going to play him at locals, and I stand by that. But on Sim, I'll showcase the list that I've been playing around with. It's probably going to be like similar to yours. He doesn't have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to builds. He can have some flexible options, but I digress. OP09 is here. We are playing against a Bello Betty, in which please do not sleep on this leader. Or do, each their own. But she is very, very good right now in OP09. She gained access to a bunch of new cards, being Crossu over there is a 3-cost blocker. Very scary deck. And I think Blackbeard players probably might be a little spooked to run into Bella Betty. Thankfully, she is still considered a rogue deck and isn't meta defining, so I don't think our locals up here is going to run a lot of Bello, which is nice. But Zoro may be dominating as well in this metagame, depending on how many Blackbeard players are going to be running around. Zoro is probably going to be pretty good, Bella Betty's going to be pretty strong. Overall, I think this matchup with Yamato into Bello really depends on the triggers here. She already has a full board by turn 4, so if she wants to start attacking, by all means. She needs to clear Nami first, yep. Run Bello into that. And then she has 3 attacks to go for life here. If I get at least one more body on board, we take the W. Just one. Just one. Thank you. That's all we need. That's it. I probably would have stopped attacking, but okay. Yep. Yep. You did it to yourself. That's all you. All you. Like, they're gonna learn today. Look at that. I still have another resting. I can play this trigger, the rest of character on board, and have Hody Jones with the following. It's crazy. I don't know why they decided to be so aggressive there. I think after the first trigger, I probably would have just chilled. But, any case, I have another Shanks list that I want to dive into that is going to do well against black decks. The build that I cooked up, I wanted to focus around dealing with Doflamingo, you know, being able to handle a wide board, you know, with the fire fists and all that sort of thing, the round tables, allowing you to deal with like 10 cost teach and stuff of that nature. I have a list in which I want to play around with that utilizes the 5 cost ace. I didn't think about it at first. Alright, when I first put together Shanks, I had no idea how good the... Was it? I think it's a 5... No, sorry. Yeah, it's a 5 cost ace. The red one. In which Shanks doesn't get value out of it because he's not a Whitebeard pirate, right? Can't use this. That sucks. Because it has to be a yellow, so I can't play Izo down the rest of blocker here. Anyway, he doesn't gain value from ace. What happens is, in the black matchups, they can't remove it without wasting removal and then attacking into it, or removal and removal. So being able to do that and utilize Marco might be the way to do it, depending on how your local scene develops when it comes to who's playing what. You know what I mean? But I have a list coming up here soon that I want to dive back into Shanks with. I mentioned just a second ago, we probably will dive into Buggy next after this video goes live, and we'll go from there. I do have a box opening. We opened up like 3 boxes on camera, then 1 off camera because the shop had to close. So I finished up those and everything. That should be out either tonight or tomorrow morning. And then this video should be out as well. So hopefully you guys are going to be excited for that one. The reason why I'm not able to upload anything else at this point is because I record in 4K. You know, like when you're recording local games and stuff, it's in 4K. So for some reason, this 40-minute video is it has been cooking since, give or take, 2 o'clock this afternoon, roughly. It's almost 7 now, so yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if I can deal with this blocker on board, man. If Shanks has another one, this could be a problem. We're getting to that point. Yep, there's Rayleigh. I was about to say, we're getting to that point where I should see Dragon or Rayleigh soon. Dragon potentially coming down next turn and just beating me up. 0 cost event. Okay, so Torment's not getting value. What can we do here? She got 6 in hand. Izo can rest a blocker. I can put him on 0 life. I think that's just the best thing that we can do here. If I go 8k, I can play Luna and just freeze the Rux, which is probably the better bet. There's no way he doesn't have counter for it, though. So I think we have to go aggressive and put him on 0. Because we have the... Well... Yeah, because we have the 2 cost event that can rest Izo to rest him again next turn. Huge gamble, but we might be able to do it. I'm hoping. Alright, so there's Shanks. I mean, what you want me to do? I'll take it. We get a Luna. Let's rest the blocker here. I know it's weird, but we probably should have just rested Rayleigh, but it is what it is. Nice. Well played. That hand over there is terrifying. It's a good game, though. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last one for the day, and then we'll dive back into the deck list at the end of the video here. And then, I'll see you in the next one as we cook up and play Buggy for you guys, and hopefully Buggy gains some traction. I also want to see Buggy at my local scene. I'm hoping some people pick him up, cook him up, and have a good time with him, instead of just running into Shanks and Blackbeard and Doflamingo. The Blackbeard and Shanks I don't really mind so much, but I'd like to see another blue deck somewhat doing okay, if not having fun in the metagame, you know? Outlook 3 is a little weird of a card to see in Marco. I don't think I've tried that. It's funny because I just thought about how good it would be in Shanks, but it's a 2 cost, whereas Climbing Snake is just a 1, you know? Although that one has counter here. Yeah, we'll take those Kikinojos. Let's just go 6. There's no reason to like be super aggressive here. And we can get down another Kikinojo. And then we can go 8k with the other one. This should be a damage. Nice. The reason why I opted to go 6 instead of just going for face is because he put back the pudding in hand, which told me he already had a 2k counter. And just going 6 will guarantee the pudding, unless he wanted to give me another card in hand, which then tells me he still has a pudding, so then we know, you know, something that's in his hand at that time. If that made sense. There's Marco. If he kills this, we heal a life. Is that really what you want to do? Okay. Weird. Sure. We'll counter out of here as well. I think I need to have both of these on board, like, to go for a game. Nice, there's a Hody Jones. I think this would be really, really risky just to try to go for it now when he has 7 in hand. So if we play it smart, we can go 10k to lead, right? And potentially guarantee this one. Then we can boost up the other Kikinojo to 9k with the our 2-cost event. That was a lot of counter. Goodness. I guess he had to, so. We boost her up to 9, and then we attach the 2 Dawn and boost the other one to 8. Let's go from there. We can at least put him on 0. Or should we kill this? Nah, let's go face. I think Ivan's kind of irrelevant right now. Because the worst thing that can happen here is him spending all of his Dawn to play Ace down. And then he attaches 1 Dawn to Marco for leader ability, right? So that's guaranteed. So Ivan can't hit me if he plays Ace down. Yo, come on, man. Seemed a little obvious, but okay. I was trying to think, there's nothing else he plays for 8 Dawn here, right? Because if I recall, Dragon is... I guess Dragon's an 8 cost, so you could have played Dragon instead of doing the Marco thing. Because I don't know if clearing my bodies that were on board was the way to go, especially when he didn't have... when he has no life. Good game? Okay. Mathematically, it's just better to go here and stack everything on Yamato and go face, right? Just playing Hody Jones down, swinging in for, I guess, 12k, versus swinging in for 14. Yeah. That hand is wild. 3 Seaquakes is crazy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the end of the video, in which today we played around with Yamato. I had a good time with this leader, as I typically always do, but there has been some problems with this leader in OP09, OP09. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to tell you that Yamato is meta defining by any means currently. The deck does struggle with a lot of stuff in today's format, a lot of stuff in OP08. And I think we're going to need a little bit of love to make this deck relevant again. Now, I would consider Yamato a rogue deck. That's what I would say. I'm not going to tell you she's tier 1 because she's definitely not. I would say anywhere between low tier 2 to tier 3. That's what I would say. Now, can it dominate some of your meta scenes, your local meta scenes? Yes, it can. Considering, I don't know how many times I've said this, on average we get around anywhere between 40 to 50 people on most of our locals on Sundays and Tuesdays, right? So we have a big, diverse group of players who play different decks out here. Now, a lot of us here we do play a lot of meta decks. There are some rogue decks out here, right? So you might come into locals this week and you might run into like a Blurple Crocodile. But for the most point, everybody here is playing to have fun, playing what they feel is good or what they enjoy, right? Yamato, at a smaller local scene, you probably will play against less Doflamingos. At a larger player pool, that's probably not going to happen. And I think Doflamingo, as he is in OP08 with the new structure deck and stuff, this leader is one of her most difficult decks to beat. I don't want to tell you it's impossible, but 9 out of 10, it's favored towards Dofi, and that's just the way it is. All right, I don't care about your, like, oh no, I always beat Doflamingo. This one time I played against him, I did this and I won, but yada yada. Consistently, this leader will beat Yamato 9 out of 10, and that's just the way it is. And considering that Dofi is everywhere, it makes it a hard time for Yamato to be able to compete, right? Because you also have other decks that Yamato struggles into. And it's no secret, we all know. But at the end of the day, we did gain access to some new stuff in OP09, being NICO Robin and Tropical Torment. This is an older card, but you can combo it up with NICO Robin to do some crazy plays, which I hope that I got to showcase somewhat in today's video. But both of these cards help you out with those 5-cost leaders. Because in OP09, we don't have that many new leaders that have 4 life. And in OP08, there wasn't a lot of decks that were floating around in the top of the top when it comes to the meta that were 4 life leaders. So you have access to NICO Robin, Tropical Torment, to be able to help you in that regard. Do I think this is enough for Yamato to be meta defining? No, but it's something that can help you at least enjoy the deck a lot more in certain matchups. But I digress. This has been Pawseplays. I do hope you guys enjoyed this list. Hope you guys give it a shot. Again, ignore the Amazon. This was something I was playing around with. Again, just cut it out. Do something else in this slot. Yamato has a lot of wiggle room. This is why I very much enjoy this leader, because you can build this deck in so many different ways and have fun. With that being said, remember guys, hit that sub button. Make sure you like the video so we get these videos floating around. And I will catch you in the very next one. Stay safe out there. I think we're going to dive into Buggy next, following into OP09 Vegapunk. Stay tuned. I'll see y'all later.